Alright, boys and girls, I'm going to go ahead and pick up where we left off at class, just so you have a little bit extra help to do your homework. So, on the next few problems it says, write a rule for the function. And I did make another video that I will put on here about finding function rules, but it's pretty easy to do. We see that the input was 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, or we can call that our domain. And then our output, or we can call it our range, is 6, 10, 14, 18, 22. We have to see what the relationship is between the two. I always check for addition first. So 3 to 6, 3 plus 3 equals 6, but 3 plus 5 does not equal 10. So it does not work. You then can just check real fast. Does a simple multiplication problem work? 3 times 2 gives me 6. 5 times 2 is 10. 7 times 2 is 14. So I know that is going to be my rule because it works at least 3 times. So it says let x be the input and let y be the output. Notice that each output is, and we're going to go ahead and say twice the corresponding input. So the rule for the function, we always write y equals, and we do something to our x coordinate. So to make it twice, we times it by 2. For this function, it is y equals 2x. When we get down to the next one, write a rule for the function. Once again, I'm going to look for the relationship between 3 to 14, 5 to 16, 7 and 18. Like I said, I always look for easy addition first. 3 plus 11 gives me 14. So I can show that here. 3 plus 11 equals 14. And then I have 5 plus 11. And that does equal 16. 7 plus 11. That equals 18. And since it worked our 3 times, that is going to be our function. So I would write it as y equals x plus 11. So whatever my input number is, which is x, I just have to add 11. Going down to an extra one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the total cost is 1.534.56. So this one's a little more tricky. But if I did 1 plus a half, I get 1.5. If I did 2 plus a half, I get 2.5, and I'm supposed to get 3. So we know I'm not just adding. It's not a simple addition. If I look for what I can multiply, erase these. 1 times 1.5 will give me 1.5. So 2 times 1.5, well, that gives me 3. We can look at it like a fraction. 2 times 1.5, which would mean I just oops, sorry. 1.5 is 3 over 2. So if I did that, I'd make this 2 over 1, I'd get 6 over 2, which simplifies to 3. I did it over here. 3 times 3.5. Make my 3 wholes into a fraction, 3 over 1. I get 9 over 2, which when you simplify becomes 4.5. Okay, that worked. So I had 1.5 work, I had 3 work, and I had 4.5. So my rule is y equals half times x, or you could write that as x. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I didn't mean half, it has to be 3.5. No, probably that's, yeah, sorry. 3.5 times x, or we can say 3x over 2. Now, our examples we just did were ones that were very simple. make sure you watch the other video I've already recorded, and it talks about how to find functions that are a little more difficult. You have to do a little work with the domain and work with the range. Complete the input-output table for the function. These are very simple. They've already told us our domains. Then they give us the function, 8 minus 3x. So to find our y value, our range, all we have to do is evaluate the expression like we did before. So to find it for -1, I'm going to go right underneath here, and I'm just going to write 8 minus 3, and in place of x, I'm going to put my -1. Well, -3 times -1 is a +3. So then I have 8 plus 3 is 11. That becomes our range. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to use a different color for us. I'm going to redo the problem. 8 minus 3x, but instead of x, we put the next domain number, which was 0. 3 times 0 is 0. So 8 minus 0 is 8. Put that answer in. Rewrite our function again. 8 minus 3x, and this time the x was 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. Oops, let me use red. And then for our last one, 8 minus 3x, and the x is 2. We get 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. And then that's how we complete our function, our range. Now, if we needed to, we could now go over and graph this. We have our x coordinates in yellow highlighted, and I have my y coordinates in this blue. So I'd be able to do -1, which would be over left one spot, and 11 high, something like that. 0 and 8, 1 and 5, 2 and 2. And hopefully if I drew it somewhat in that spot, we get our straight line for a linear equation. Alright, so that's all we have. If you have any questions, please email me and I will help you. Otherwise, great job and good luck today.